Right now, you're throwing away things that could save your family during the next crisis. Not because you're wasteful, not because you don't care, but because you've been conditioned to believe that anything old, broken, or outdated has no value. That belief works perfectly fine in a functioning economy. But when the system breaks, when supply chains freeze, when currency loses value, when stores run empty, the items you casually toss in the trash become the difference between security and desperation. I'm going to show you 15 specific things people discard every single day that will become critical survival assets when the financial system collapses. And I'm telling you right now, number 7 is something you probably threw away just last month without realizing its value. Let's get into it. Item number 1, glass jars and containers. Every time you finish a jar of pasta sauce, pickles, or jam, you probably rinse it out and toss it in the recycling bin. Stop doing that. Glass jars are one of the most versatile storage solutions in existence. They're airtight, they're reusable indefinitely, they're transparent, so you can see what's inside. And during the Great Depression, families who had glass jars for canning and preserving food survived winters that neighbors didn't. When you can't rely on grocery stores restocking weekly, food preservation becomes essential. Glass jars let you store dried goods, preserve vegetables, ferment foods, and even store non-food items like nails, screws, seeds, and medical supplies. Start saving every glass jar you use. Wash them, remove the labels, store them with their lids. You want at least 50 to 100 jars of varying sizes before you feel comfortable. In a crisis, these jars won't just store food. They'll become tradable commodities with anyone who needs to preserve their own supplies. Item number 2, old clothing and fabric scraps. Most people throw away clothing the moment it gets a tear, a stain, or goes out of style. That's a mistake. Fabric has dozens of survival uses beyond wearing it. Old t-shirts become cleaning rags, bandages, fire-starting tinder, insulation material, water filters, and barter items. During World War II rationing, families repurposed every piece of fabric they had. Clothes were patched until they fell apart. Then the scraps were used for quilts, rugs, and even stuffing for pillows. In a prolonged crisis where new clothing isn't available or is prohibitively expensive, having a stockpile of fabric, even damaged fabric, gives you material to work with. And if you or someone in your household knows how to sew, that fabric becomes even more valuable. You can repair clothing, create new items, or trade custom work for other necessities. Stop throwing away old clothes, cut them into usable pieces, store them in labeled bins. Fabric is a renewable resource you're currently wasting. Item number 3, batteries, even dead ones. Pull dead batteries out of a flashlight or remote control and immediately throw them away. But not all dead batteries are actually dead. Many batteries still hold partial charges. And in a crisis where new batteries are scarce or unaffordable, even a weak battery can power a small device long enough to matter. There's also a technique called battery rotation, where you use partially drained batteries in low-drain devices like clocks or remotes, saving your fresh batteries for high-drain devices like flashlights and radios. Beyond that, some rechargeable battery systems can be rigged to extract remaining power from disposable batteries by connecting them in series. Store your used batteries separately from fresh ones. Test them periodically. You'd be surprised how many still have usable life. And if they're truly dead, save them anyway. Batteries contain metals that can be recycled or repurposed in DIY projects if you know what you're doing. In Venezuela's economic collapse, people were pulling batteries from broken electronics just to power essential devices. Don't wait until you're in that position to start saving them. Item number 4, cardboard and packing materials. Amazon boxes, shipping materials, bubble wrap, packing peanuts. Most people break these down and recycle them immediately. Cardboard is an underrated resource. It's an excellent insulator. It's a fire starter. It can be used to create temporary shelters, windbreaks, or moisture barriers. Flattened and layered, it provides ground insulation for sleeping outdoors or in unheated spaces. Bubble wrap and foam packing materials. They insulate pipes, protect fragile items during transport, and can even be used as makeshift window insulation to reduce heating costs. During economic downturns, people who need to move, store, or protect belongings can't always afford to buy packing supplies. If you have a stockpile, you can trade it or use it yourself. Flatten your cardboard, store it in a dry location, keep packing materials in bins. These are zero-cost resources you're throwing away that have real utility. Item number 5, plastic containers and buckets. Every time you buy bulk items, cooking oil, detergent, paint, you're left with plastic containers and buckets that most people throw away. Those containers are survival gold. Food-grade plastic buckets can store dry goods like rice, beans, flour, and sugar for years if sealed properly. Non-food grade buckets can hold tools, water for washing, or emergency supplies. Even smaller plastic containers, yogurt tubs, takeout containers, margarine bins, can organize small items, store seeds, or become portable water carriers. In any prolonged crisis, storage becomes a logistical challenge. You need containers to organize, protect, and preserve what you have. Buying these new during a crisis will either be impossible or absurdly expensive. Start collecting them now. Clean them thoroughly. Store them nested to save space. Prioritize containers with tight-fitting lids. A stockpile of 20 to 35-gallon buckets alone gives you serious storage capacity for almost nothing. Item number 6, broken electronics and small appliances. Your toaster stops working, your old laptop won't turn on, your coffee maker dies. Most people immediately throw these in the trash or drop them at an e-waste center. But broken electronics are treasure troves of parts. Screws, wires, circuits, motors, magnets, batteries, and casings. All of these have reuse potential. During the Great Depression and World War II, nothing was thrown away. Broken items were stripped for parts because new items weren't available. In a financial crisis where supply chains collapse, replacement parts won't be on Amazon arriving in 2 days. If something breaks, you'll need to fix it yourself or find someone who can. And that requires parts. Even if you don't know how to repair electronics now, storing broken items gives you the raw materials to learn or trade with someone who does. Before you throw away a broken device, open it up, remove useful components, store them in labeled containers. You're building a parts inventory that could keep essential devices running when replacements aren't an option. Item number 7, physical instruction manuals. When you buy a new appliance, tool, or piece of equipment, it comes with a manual. Most people glance at it once, then throw it away or recycle it. After all, you can just look up anything you need on YouTube or Google. But what happens when the internet goes down? When cloud services are unavailable? When the power grid is unreliable and you can't access digital information? Physical instruction manuals become irreplaceable. Contain troubleshooting guides, parts diagrams, maintenance schedules, and repair instructions. They tell you how to disassemble, clean, and fix the things you own. In a crisis where professional repair services are expensive or unavailable, that printed knowledge is the difference between fixing something yourself and losing it permanently. During Cuba's economic collapse in the 1990s, people kept cars from the 1950s running for decades because they had the physical manuals and repair guides. They couldn't Google solutions, they couldn't watch tutorial videos, they had paper, and that's what saved them. Start keeping every manual that comes with your purchases. Store them in a binder or filing system organized by category: appliances, tools, vehicles, electronics. Don't assume the information will always be available digitally. When YouTube is offline, printed know-how wins. Item number 8, seeds from produce. Every time you cut open a tomato, a pepper, a squash, or an apple, you're holding seeds, and you're throwing them away. Those seeds are food security. Each one has the potential to grow into a plant that produces dozens or hundreds more seeds, creating a renewable food source. During the Soviet Union's collapse, families survived by growing small gardens from saved seeds. People who had seeds could grow food. People who didn't had to buy it at inflated prices, or go without. Not all seeds are viable, and not all produce seeds will grow true to type, but many will. Tomatoes, peppers, beans, peas, squash, and melons are all easy to save seeds from. Rinse the seeds. Dry them completely. Store them in paper envelopes in a cool, dry place. Label them with the type and date. You're not trying to become a commercial seed bank. You're creating a backup food source that costs you nothing and could become invaluable. Item number 9, physical maps. When was the last time you used a paper map? Most people rely entirely on GPS, Google Maps, and their smartphones for navigation. And when those fail, they're completely lost. In a crisis where the power grid is unstable, cell towers are down, or satellites are compromised, digital navigation becomes worthless. You won't be able to pull up directions. You won't be able to search for alternate routes. You won't even know where you are. Physical maps, road atlases, topographic maps, regional maps become critical navigation tools. During natural disasters like Hurricane Katrina, people who had paper maps could navigate around flooded areas, closed roads, and evacuation routes. People who relied on their phones found themselves stranded when batteries died and charging wasn't possible. But maps aren't just for navigation. They show resource locations, water sources, potential shelter areas, elevation changes, and geographic features. In a survival situation, this information can save your life. Start collecting maps of your local area, your state, and surrounding regions. Get road atlases. Get topographic maps if you live in rural areas. Store them in waterproof containers in your vehicle and at home. When GPS fails, paper navigation wins. Item number 10, newspapers and paper products. Newspapers, junk mail, old magazines, cardboard packaging inserts. Most of this goes straight into recycling. But paper has practical survival uses. It's fire-starting material. It's insulation when crumpled and stuffed into walls or clothing. It can be used as mulch in gardens. It can even be composted to improve soil. Newspaper specifically can be used to wrap and store delicate items, line drawers, or clean windows. In a world where resources are scarce, paper becomes valuable again. You're not hoarding trash. You're keeping a multi-use material that costs nothing to save. Store it flat in a dry area. Keep it organized. You don't need a massive stockpile, but having a steady supply means you're not scrambling when you need it. Item number 11, prescription bottles and medicine containers. Every time you finish a prescription, you throw away the bottle. Those bottles are small, durable, waterproof containers with child-resistant caps. They're perfect for storing small items, seeds, matches, fire-starting materials, first aid supplies, buttons, screws, fishing hooks, or anything else that needs to stay dry and organized. In a crisis, organization matters. Losing small, critical items because they weren't properly stored can be the difference between fixing something and having it stay broken. Remove the labels for privacy, clean the bottles, store them empty until you need them. They take up almost no space, and when you need a waterproof container for something small, you'll be glad you kept them. Item number 12, candle stubs and wax. When a candle burns down to the last inch or two, most people throw it away, but that leftover wax is still usable. You can melt down candle stubs and pour them into new containers with fresh wicks, creating new candles. You can combine different colors and scents. You can even add the wax to fire-starting kits for camping or emergency use. Wax is also useful for waterproofing. You can rub it on zippers, coat canvas or leather, seal jars, or lubricate stubborn drawers and windows. In a crisis where electricity is unreliable or unaffordable, candles become essential, and the ability to make your own from scraps means you're not dependent on buying new ones. Save every candle stub, store them in a container. When you have enough, melt them down and reuse them. Nothing goes to waste. Item number 13, aluminum foil and tin. After using aluminum foil once, most people crumple it up and throw it away. But aluminum foil can be reused multiple times if it's not heavily soiled or torn. Rinse it off, smooth it out, fold it, and store it. You can reuse it for covering dishes, wrapping food, creating makeshift cooking surfaces, or even as reflective insulation. Beyond reuse, aluminum foil has survival applications. It can be shaped into bowls or cups. It can reflect heat from a fire to warm a shelter. It can be used as a signal reflector in emergencies. Aluminum cans also have value. They can be cut and shaped into tools, cookpots, or even small stoves. During economic collapses in developing countries, people have built entire cottage industries around repurposing aluminum. Don't throw away foil after one use. Don't toss aluminum cans without considering their potential. These materials are durable, lightweight, and multifunctional. Item number 14, rubber bands, twist ties, and fasteners. Every product you buy comes with some kind of fastener. Rubber bands around vegetables, twist ties on bread bags, cable ties on new electronics. Most people throw these away immediately. But these small items are incredibly useful for organization, repairs, and makeshift solutions. Rubber bands can seal bags, bundle items, create makeshift hinges, or even be used in survival traps. Twist ties can repair fencing, secure tarps, organize cords, or temporarily fix broken items. In a crisis, small solutions matter. Being able to quickly secure, bundle, or repair something without needing to buy specialized supplies gives you flexibility. Create a container specifically for these items. Toss every rubber band, twist tie, zip tie, and small fastener you come across into it. Within a few months, you'll have a massive collection that cost you nothing. When you need to secure something and don't have the right tool, you'll appreciate having options. Item number 15, worn out shoes and boots. When shoes wear out, most people throw them away. But even damaged shoes have salvageable materials. The rubber soles can be cut into non-slip pads, gaskets, or patching material. Leather from old boots can be used for repairs, grips, or small projects. The laces can be reused or repurposed as cordage. In a prolonged crisis, footwear becomes critical. Shoes wear out faster when you're walking more and driving less. Replacement shoes may be expensive or unavailable. Having spare materials to repair existing shoes could extend their life by months or even years. Beyond personal use, shoe repair becomes a valuable skill. If you can fix shoes using salvaged materials, you have a tradable service. Don't throw away worn-out shoes, strip them for parts, store the materials, learn basic shoe repair techniques. Your feet are your primary transportation in a crisis. Protecting them is non-negotiable. The families who survive economic collapse aren't the ones with the most money. They're the ones with the most resourcefulness. And resourcefulness starts with recognizing value where others see trash. You don't need to become a hoarder. but you do need to shift your perspective on what's worth keeping. Start with one category from this list. Pick the one that makes the most sense for your situation. Start saving it. Start organizing it. Build your resource base now, while these items are still free and abundant. Because when the crisis hits, you won't be able to go back in time and save what you've already thrown away. If this video changed how you see the items around you, smash that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment. Which of these 15 are you starting to save first? Stay resourceful. I'll see you in the next one.